Hey, what is going on, guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the rank 1 player in the world for patch 9.10, who is the jungler for Kingzone in LCK Cuz. So in this video here, we're going to be trying to go over what he does differently than the average jungler or the average player in order for him to be such a high rank in solo queue. So to start off here, we're going to take a look at the setup he's running right now on his Xin Zhao, and we're going to use U.GG, which is the sponsor of this video, to take a look at that. So he's playing Xin Zhao in this game here. So we're going to go into Xin Zhao, and we're going to take a look at the setup, or the best setup right now for Xin Zhao. So for runes on him, Keystone Rune, it's going to be Hail of Blades every single game right now. As you can see, if you go into like more rune stats here, Hail of Blades is the one that's like performing best right now on the champion. There's Conquer as well, that's decent on him. I know previously Phase Rush was alright, but right now Hail of Blades is just outperforming everything, so that's going to be your keystone on Xin Zhao for this patch. Now if you take a look, most players do run Sudden Impact on Xin Zhao, but if you go into more rune stats here, Cheap Shot actually does better on Xin Zhao. And if you just take a look, like Cuz does run Cheap Shot on his Xin Zhao, he also runs Zombie Ward, and when you go to filter here, you filter to Diamond Plus and you go over to Korea. This is what I really like about this site, is that there's just so many filters you can use to tailor to what you're looking for. So you can go over to Korea and bam, right there, you see the Cheap Shot and the Zombie Ward, what is most, like, it's what most Korean Xin Zhao players are running right now in high elo. So if you filter this like Master, if you even go to like Grandmaster, that's pretty much what all Xin Zhao players are running right now. So this is going to be the best setup for this patch on the Xin Zhao for the runes. And for the build here, your build is pretty standard most of the time on the champion. You can either go for Trinity Force or Black Cleaver as your second item. It's almost always going to be Warrior first item, and after you go for either your Trinity or your Black Cleaver, after that it's pretty situational. So you can go like Sterix, Guardian Angel, he goes Stoneplate in this game. So there's just a lot of different things you can go build wise on Xin Zhao, but this is going to be like your pretty ideal setup on him for this patch. So link will be down in the description below for you guys to check out U.GG. Just a very useful website, allows you to take a look at the best setup for any champion in a matter of seconds. Alright, so to start off here, if we just go back a little bit, so 20 seconds into the game here, Xin Zhao is out of base right away, so not wasting any time getting out of base, getting onto the map, trying to track where the enemy jungler is starting. So his team's with him here, he can look to go for an invade, spot out the Karthus, and blow the Karthus's flash. So this is just really, really good here. You want to make sure you're on the map immediately when you are, especially playing jungle, just so you can like be able to track where the enemy jungler is starting in the early game. He knows that Karthus is now doesn't have flash, so if he gets into a 1v1 situation with the Karthus, pretty much guaranteed that he's gonna be able to win the duel. So now Karthus has to play very safe here in the early game. Also take note, he is taking the sweeper instead of he's taking the red trinket instead of the yellow trinket to start off here, and I think this is something that is gonna become more common as the patch progresses here with the new jungle, because it's not really necessary for you to get a ward on the Scuttle Crab anymore, or in the Pixel Bush in this patch, because there's no more early crabs. So if you get a ward on the Pixel Bush in this patch, like, you're not really going to be tracking anything. By the time the Scuttle Crab spawns, that ward you place in the Pixel Bush is going to be gone. So unless you're playing against a really aggressive jungler that you think is going to be invading you, I'd say it's better to start with the sweeper in this patch now, just so you can, like, when you are going in for ganks in the early game, you can know if it's warded or not, so if the gank is going to work out. You can also know, like, when you're going for an invade yourself, if you're being tracked. So just going the sweeper is probably going to be the better option now on this patch if you are playing jungle. So if we just take note of Cuz's early pathing in this game here, he's starting blue into Gromp into Wolves, just doing a full clear towards his bot side. So this is pretty much what you want to do on most junglers in this patch, just full clear towards the side of the lane you want to play around, because with Scuttle Crab spawning at 315 anymore, it just allows you for more time to clear out your camp. So after this here, he can either go into Raptors or Red, depending on how early he wants to be on the map. So it looks like he's going to go for Red here in this situation. So he's prioritizing just getting on the map a little bit quicker here. The Karthus is just doing a full clear. He's only on Raptors right now, so Cuz is a little bit ahead of him, so he can look to get down to bot lane quicker than Karthus here and look to get an early gank off. With this Galio support as well, really good gank assist, so he's prioritizing playing around the lane that does have the highest potential of him getting a kill when he is ganking. So with the top lane there, he could play around top lane as well with the Hecarim without flash, but Galio support, flash taunt here level 2 should be a free kill. So let's see what happens. Flash taunt from the Galio. All right, Galio, what are you doing, man? Okay, I don't know what Galio is doing there. I feel like you just flash taunt, get a free double kill there, but I don't know. Is he not taking taunt level 2? Yeah, he doesn't take taunt level 2. If you're playing Galio support, please take taunt level 2, but he does burn the Lucian and the Karma Flash, so he can look to play around that from now on and can look to punish that with another gank here when Galio does actually get his taunt. All right, so now just going back into his jungle, clearing out his jungle, not wasting any time. So clearing out his Gromp here after this, or not clearing out his Gromp, clearing out his Krugs. After this, he can either look to counter that Karthus gank again down bot, or he can just look to go to his Raptors. So his bot lane's just going to back off. No point in him like wasting time trying to go bot lane there, trying to get a kill. Just keep clearing his jungle. Want to be efficient in the early game here. Just not wasting any time if you can. So he's level 4 here. Karthus also level 4. He does have to remember Karthus does not have flash, so if he can look to get a pick onto the Karthus somehow, then he can burst him down pretty quickly, but looks like he's just going to go over to his top side here. His bot lane based, the enemy bot lane based as well, but his bot lane I'm pretty sure based before the enemy bot lane, so he didn't want to try to like go for an invade on Karthus' side of the map there. Like, you got to play around the pressure that your team is giving you. If your bot lane is basing, then it's best for you to just not play to that side of the map for the meanwhile. So he just, instead of going for like an aggressive play there on the Karthus, which he could have done if his bot lane did have pressure and priority, instead though he just went into his jungle, went to the other side of the map, got the other Scuttle Crab. So it's just very important when you are playing jungle to look at the map, play around what your team can do for you. If your team does not have priority and they cannot roam over to help you, then don't look to go for that play. All right, so just take note here. Let's just rewind a little bit. So as you're walking to lane as a jungler, what I think Cuz is probably thinking right now, like as he's walking into his jungle, is, okay, where am I going to be pathing next? And that's going to decide which camp he takes. So he's got both his Gromp and his Wolves up here. Depending on where he's going to path, is going to change like which camp he's gonna take. So if he's pathing towards bot side here, he's gonna go for his Gromp and then Wolves. If he's pathing to top side, he's gonna do Wolves and then Gromp. So let's just see what he does here and see which way he does end up pathing. So we can just like fast forward this a little bit. So he's gonna do his Gromp, and then after this he should do his Wolves, and then he should path towards bot side here. So yeah, you always want to be clearing towards where you're going to be pathing, and you always have to be thinking ahead of time, okay, where am I going to be pathing next before you even take your camps? Because, for example, if you were to do like Wolves and then do your Gromp there and then go bot lane, you're just wasting time backtracking. So you just want to make sure that you're pathing, always trying to path towards where you're going to be going on the map. So he's coming down bot lane. Always, before you enter a bush, pop that sweeper, know if it's warded. So he's just going to sit in the bush here. He knows it's not warded. Just be patient. Okay, he's spotted out there. So he was just trying to be patient there for a second, waiting for the enemy team to maybe push up a little bit. He's got the Galio, so really good gank assist for the Xin Zhao. So yeah, playing around this bot lane this game, like this is definitely the lane to play around, I'd say. It does have the most gank assist in the game for the Xin Zhao. If you take a look at mid lane, it's a Lulu against a Vladimir, so you always want to be like trying to figure out like, okay, which lane is going to be easiest for me to gank. Not really going to be able to gank a Vladimir lane, so playing around that lane in the early game probably isn't the best idea, but knowing that this bot lane does not have flash now, Cuz is back down bot lane trying to make another play, and it's just going to be the most high percent play that he can make at this point in the game. He could also look to play around top lane, but with the Kennen, doesn't have the best gank assist, not the worst either, but I just think playing around bot lane now with the Galio, with the enemy summoners being down, is the right call. And now, notice his bot lane does have the priority now, so now this is when he can look to roam into the river, look to go for this dragon, so just always playing around your team's priority again here. Now he can go for the Scuttle Crab, so really good play here by Cuz, just playing around his bot lane very nicely in this game. Alright, so just clearing his red buff here. If he had the timer, if he timed the enemy's flash correctly, he would know that it's coming up like very soon. As you can see on the right hand side of the screen there, their flashes are up like right now. So if he was timing that like super well, then he probably would have known he only has like a few seconds to play with here to look for another play down bot lane. So that's probably why he was like clearing his bot side there, grabbed his red, and then immediately came down bot lane to try to get something out of the enemies having flash. But they got their flashes back up now, so the chances of him pulling off a gank now against that lane definitely does decrease by quite a bit, with the Lucian with a dash, the Karma with a speed up. So he's just gonna base now, don't want to force anything too hard down bot lane, go over to his top side, clear his top side out now. Right after this kill, if he just passed towards top side here and stops this wave from crashing into the tower, he can set a really nice freeze here for his cannon. But instead he clears out this ward, so like if he just passed right topside right now, I think he can cut that wave off there, stop it from crashing into tower. So yeah, if he just pathed right up there, he would definitely be able to get there in time, but he clears the ward out first, now he goes top, and the wave crashes in there, so this would have been super good for his Kennen if he was able to get that freeze. Hecarim would have lost like 2 waves probably off of that. So whenever you're playing jungle, if you notice that your lane is like, if you notice after a gank that you can like set a freeze for your laner, all you have to do to set a freeze is there has to be like 4 more minions on the enemy team or on the enemy's wave than there is yours. And in this case, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are lower HP, so technically there's probably like 4 to 5 there, because these ones are going to die pretty quickly. But if he were to just stop the wave from crashing in there, the wave would have just froze right here in front of Kennen's tower. He would have been able to come back to lane with Hecarim losing a lot of XP. So just keep that in mind when you are playing jungle. Look at the lane states after a gank, decide if you want to shove the wave in or if you want to get a freeze for your jungler. So now at this point here, because the wave did crash into tower, like it's not going to be able to freeze, right? If it crashes into tower, it's not going to freeze, it's just going to reset. So he's just going to clear it out. He's going to get a hard shove here for his Kennen so that Hecarim does end up losing that CS. So in this situation here, I don't think you're going to get a kill on Vladimir. Like, he's got his flash, he's got his pool, so a lot of the time you don't need to gank to kill. You can gank to create pressure. So in that situation there, he's ganking the Vladimir, he chunks him out, gives Lulu some pressure. So now he can look to pretty freely just roam down into the river here, because his Lulu is gonna his Lulu's gonna TP back here. So this is really good. Lulu's gonna have a lot of pressure now in this lane. So he can pretty freely just look to do this Rift Herald. Take a look at top side though, top lane. Top lane does have priority as well, so this wouldn't be a terrible play to go for, but the Karthus spots him out here. I think the Hecarim like knew he was on the Rift Herald, so he is just gonna back off, but just always like you never need to gank to get a kill every single time. Like if you can gank to create pressure, oftentimes it's even better, because you can get like other objectives around the map. You can secure Scuttle Crab, secure Rift Herald. All right. Don't know why he ulted there. That was very, very interesting. I feel like there should be some missing ping spams going down on him, but it doesn't look like his team's paying attention. But yeah, I don't know why he used his ult there. Probably to try to block the Karthus ult, but I don't think there's a reason for you to do that. Like, you don't really need to block that Karthus damage at this point in the game, so probably just a bit of a misplay there on his ult. So hopefully it doesn't end up costing him, but we'll see if it does end up costing him. Doesn't look like anything happens though here for the next couple minutes, so looks like he's just gonna clear out his jungle, and let's just jump forward to where the next notable thing happens in the game. All right, so right here, 13 minutes in, he knows that the enemy team does have a ward here in the tri-bush. So what he's gonna do, instead of going for like trying to force a gank through this tri-bush here and going around when it's warded, what you can do, and you can do this, it depends on who your team comp or who your bot lane is and what your team comp is. But if you have a support who's got some really good CC, like right now, Nautilus being played a lot, you got Galio, more so in the higher elos, but you got Nautilus, like Thresh, any hard CC support, lane ganking is actually a lot of the time more effective than ganking through the lane, because they can just set up the gank super easily for you. And if a Nautilus has a flash, if he's got his flash up, he can just flash auto onto him, use his ult. So don't be afraid to lane gank when you are playing jungle if your team does have some good crowd control to set it up. So right here, he's coming in for a lane gank, blows the Karma flash. So it's just always good to look for. You know, if you can still make ganks happen if the enemy does have like the river warded, because most of the time, like especially in the lower elos, players aren't going to be warding like deeper down into here unless they have like some sort of crazy pressure on the map. They're not going to be able to ward out a lane gank. So lane ganks are just really effective, and I think that players need to use them more for sure. So right here, as you can see on the mini map there, it's pretty small. Like I don't know why on the replay system it doesn't show timers. I don't know if I can like bring that up somehow, but it doesn't show the exact timer on Dragon and on Baron. But as you can see, they're gray right now, both on the mini map, so it means they're spawning in around a minute. I'm pretty sure that when it turns yellow it means 30 seconds. I might be wrong, but Dragon is going to be coming up here nonetheless in the next minute or so. So what he's doing here, he's just getting control over around this bot side. When you're playing jungle especially, you want to try to be at objectives at least like 30 seconds before they spawn. Ideally, if you can be there like even a little bit earlier before they spawn, like a minute before they spawn, and just get full control over the area and just sweep vision, get pink wards down. It allows you to play very aggressively with that vision. You know when the enemy team is coming in and trying to contest you, so you can either look to continue doing the dragon or you can look to get a pick and turn on them. So right here they do have pretty good control of this dragon. The Hecarim is very late on his TPs, so they can just burst that dragon down there. I feel like Hecarim, bit of a misplay there. Like if he's gonna TP a lot earlier. It's a pretty late TP by the Hecarim there, so they get the dragon. And that was all because if we just take a look back here, that all stemmed from him realizing the dragon spawning, and he was the first one on the map to get over there and start getting control. So the Karthus right now is mid lane. Cuz what is he doing? He's already here at the dragon, clearing out the vision, clearing out pink wards. The enemy team is in base right now, so the Kaisa and the Lucian and the Karma are in base, whereas his Kaisa and his Lulu, or wait, who's the support? Galio? Where's Galio? So yeah, the Galio is with him right there, helping him with vision as well. So you just always want to be at an objective a lot earlier before it spawns, and it can just lead to so many it can just lead to snowballing the game out of control if you can do this correctly. All right, so now next objective is definitely at the Baron. So notice that he does have his Krugs up right now, but at this point in the game, you almost never want to be clearing out your Krugs. If you're playing jungle and you're clearing out your Krugs 27 minutes into the game when Baron is on the map, then it can just lead to a disaster. Like if your team gets caught, the enemy team goes for Baron and you're on the bot side, things do not end up going well when you're playing towards the bot side when Baron is up. So he's on the top side here, just looking to get into the enemy's jungle here after that pick. Like the vision that they were able to get there, let's just actually take a look back at that. So they have full vision here over the Baron pit. They've got a pink in this bush. Because of this control they have, they get a pick onto the Lucian here, and this is just why controlling the objective, getting pinks down, sweeping vision is just so important in the mid to late game, and it just allows you to close out games so easily. I feel like teams, they just try to like either ARAM or they try to, in lower elo, you'll see just like constant ARAMs and constant fighting, but if you can just control the vision, it just leads to much less riskier plays, and you can just find way more picks by doing that. So yeah, just really, really good by this team here, playing around the super good vision they have. Now they can look to turn on this Baron here because the Xin Zhao is on the map. Karthus is still down for a couple seconds, so they should be able to do this before the Karthus spawns. All right, looks like the team isn't really... Yeah, okay, now they come, so good. So yeah, this should be a free Baron here, so... Let's see, the enemy team, yeah, they're not even going to contest, I don't think. And then right here, they should look to go over to this dragon instead of basing. Yeah, it's still a 5v4, so even though, like, a lot of the time, most, the right call after you get Baron is to base, reset, get HP, get your items and stuff. But in this situation here, like if it's a 5v4, you got the Baron, you're all still full HP in this situation, then look to play aggressive with this Baron, look to contest this dragon here. So it is an Infernal Drake as well. They can get 3 Infernals off of this, so this should be really, really, really good for his team in this situation. So yeah, they just grab the dragon, and at this point here, it should be pretty easy to close out the game as long as they just group up here, stay as a team. Okay, so Triple Inferno, they have the Dragon, or they have the Baron at this point, so just look to group up, look to fight. Like, you don't need to do anything else at this point in the game than just group and try to end the game. Notice how he just runs right down mid after basing, doesn't go into his jungle, doesn't farm any camps. I feel like you'll see this like a ton in the lower elos, where junglers will just like think they always need to be clearing out their camps, like no matter the state of the game. A lot of the time, like, it's actually quite surprising how often you'll see it, just like not closing out a game quick enough when you do have the advantage. So just run right down mid here, get the fight, end the game, and this should be the end of the game here, as long as they just don't troll. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I think there are lots of different things in this game and throughout the game that did showcase as to why Cuz is rank 1 right now and to why he does have so much success. So if you guys did enjoy this video, then be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have yet to already. So thanks for watching, have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.